Welcome to Gaming Demon. Nintendo sold over 125 million Switch consoles worldwide. That's more than the PlayStation 4, more than the Wii. It's one of the best-selling gaming devices in history. So when Nintendo says, hey, here comes Switch 2, expectations? Astronomical. But here's the question we're answering today. Can the Nintendo Switch 2 actually live up to that legacy? Or is it just riding nostalgia like Mario on a cart? Welcome to Gaming Demon, the only channel that checks specs harder than we check our bank accounts before a console drop. Today, we're diving headfirst into the Nintendo Switch 2. Not just the rumors, not just the hype, but the actual hardware, features, game lineup, critic responses, and fan reactions after months in the wild. We'll uncover what Nintendo got right, what still needs work, and whether this console really deserves your cash. This is your no BS, all chaos deep dive into the Switch 2. Let's press start. Now before we dive into all the flashy stuff, let's rewind for just a second. Back to 2017, back when Nintendo dropped the original Switch, and the world collectively said, wait, a console that turns into a handheld and back again? It sounded gimmicky, but it worked. Oh, did it work? Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Smash Ultimate. It wasn't just a console. It was a movement. Gamers were bringing it on planes, to schools, to cafes, even into bathrooms. We're not judging. But now it's 2025, and the competition is stacked. Steam Deck, ROG Ally, PlayStation Portal. Everyone's chasing that hybrid dream. So now the Switch 2 walks in, a bolder, sleeker, stronger evolution. The question isn't will it sell? It's will it dominate? And to answer that, we need to break this thing down. Let's talk about something that often goes under the radar, accessories. The Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't come alone. It brings a whole ecosystem of gear, both official and third-party, that either enhances your experience or drains your wallet. Sometimes both. Let's start with the dock. The base model includes a sleeker design, integrated cooling vents, and upscaling features. But if the rumors are true, the Switch Pro dock will include active GPU boosting and AI-enhanced frame rate smoothing. That's turning your hybrid into a mini console powerhouse, especially for those who want better performance without going full PC mode. Then there are the Joy-Con variations. Nintendo launched 3 versions right out the gate: classic layout, split D-pad Pro Edition, and a weird but lovable retro GameCube-style Joy-Con set that sold out in hours. They even support back buttons and extra macros now, catering to competitive players. What about displays? Portable cases now feature flip-up OLED lenses that magnify and sharpen resolution on the go. Travel kits are modular: dock, charge, display, and storage in one briefcase-sized package. Think James Bond meets Mario. Then there's Nintendo's online integration with accessories. Tap your Amiibo on your Joy-Con. It now syncs live cosmetics to your user profile. Even voice assistant headsets are coming. Yes, with Toad GPT support. All in all, you can play with the basics, but Switch 2 becomes something way more versatile if you're willing to invest. Let's address the obvious elephant in the game room. How does Switch 2 stack up against the competition? Against the Steam Deck? Nintendo's got longer battery, lighter weight, and sharper UI. It's more family-friendly and doesn't require Linux Kung Fu to make work. But the Deck still holds the edge in raw horsepower, open game access, and modding. ROG Ally? Ace's machine is sleek, powerful, but lacks Nintendo's charm and library. Performance-wise, the Ally might edge ahead in certain benchmarks, but it's more expensive, has shorter battery life, and lacks Nintendo's generational exclusives. Then there's the PS Portal, not a real competitor. It's a remote streaming-only device. Switch 2 is self-contained and fully mobile. Advantage? Obvious. What about cloud competition? GeForce Now, xCloud, Luna, they're scalable, powerful, but rely on connectivity. Switch 2 gives you instant play anywhere without signal panic. In short, if you want openness and raw power, go Steam Deck. If you want ecosystem, ease, and the best hybrid library in gaming, it's Switch 2 all day. Beyond the plastic shell and OLED magic, what's really happening here? Nintendo is playing a long game. They've created an ecosystem that feeds on nostalgia, family sharing, and loyalty. Every Switch 2 connects back to a player's original account, tracking history, achievements, and purchases. Your past travels with you. They're also positioning themselves as the one hybrid experience that truly works for both casual and hardcore gamers. You can fire up Mario Party with your grandma, then dock it and grind Elden Ring co-op that night. And with unified tools for developers, support for Unity 6, Unreal Engine 5, and AI-enhanced porting, they've made it easier than ever for studios to bring titles to Switch 2 without compromise. They're not just selling hardware, they're selling convenience, legacy, and the right to play your way. That's not a gimmick, that's dominance. What still needs fixing? As impressive as the Switch 2 is, it's not without flaws. Some users are reporting inconsistent Bluetooth performance with third-party headsets. Others have noticed occasional thermal throttling when using the system docked for marathon sessions in high-performance games like Metroid Prime 4. Game key pricing remains a sore point, especially when certain regions are being charged higher prices for the same titles. And then there's the elephant in the room, Nintendo Online. Despite upgrades, it still lacks the polish and variety seen in services like Xbox Game Pass. And voice chat, while present, feels clunky compared to Discord. Nintendo will need to address these issues fast if they want to maintain momentum, especially once Sony and Microsoft respond with their next wave of hardware. So here it is. Your Joy-Cons are charged, your backlog is shaking, your wallet is sweating. Is the Nintendo Switch 2 perfect? Is it powerful? Yes. Is it flexible? Absolutely. Is it fun? It's Nintendo. Of course it is. This isn't just a new console. It's a generational upgrade built on everything the Switch got right, and finally fixing everything it didn't. So, whether you're day 1, day 100, or just waiting for the inevitable Metroid-themed edition, the Switch 2 is worth your time. Subscribe for more brutally honest breakdowns, spicy console wars, and pure gaming chaos. This is Gaming Demon. Until next time, stay wired, stay weird, and may your Joy-Cons never drift again.